Today, we are going to be building the ultra carbonation device. Someone fielded the idea to me a while ago, where they were basically like, hey, you carbonate soda at like 20 psi or so, but you can actually get a higher carbonation percentage with higher pressure, and I did some research and found out also colder temperature. So if you get it really close to freezing and you get it really pressurized, you can actually get like super concentrated, ultra carbonated water out of it. And should also be able to make super carbonated soda by the same method. What we're going to be doing is building a special pressure chamber. So as you can see, I've bought this tiny air tank. And this guy's rated for hundreds of PSI, so it can take a lot more than what we're even going to be driving it at. Now, the pressure regulator that they sent me, this was supposed to be an 1/8 inch in PT. This is an 1/8 inch in PT, if you can see. And this is very much not an 1/8 inch in PT. It's like, it's like bigger than a 1/4 inch. I don't know what they're doing. So, I ordered another one. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It didn't show up. It's now supposed to be here today. It's going to show up during this stream. Well, fingers crossed we get the pressure relief valve, because for safety, it's probably a good idea to have one of these. And then to get it down to temp, I've also got these little Peltier coolers. Peltier? However you say it. And we're going to try to mount these around it as best we can and wrap it in insulation so that this can help it get as close to freezing as possible. These things do suck. Like, they're pretty inefficient. We're going to need to put this heat sink on the back, because basically the way they work is that one side gets really cold and one side gets really hot, because it's moving the thermal energy from one side to the other, if you want to think about it that way. Some of this stuff is on default 1/8 inch, so I'm thinking the way that we do this. Hang on. Where's my paper? We need to bring back... It's been a while since I've gotten out a piece of paper and drawn out what we're gonna do. There's a channel on Bilibili stealing your content and dubbing it in Mandarin. Please, for the love of God, link me that channel. 今天我们要制作有史以来第一个，至少据我所知。老兄，好烫！ 这可是个热乎乎的热狗，他竟然真的把它煮熟了！老兄，我简直不敢相信，他竟然在工作！天哪，他竟然在工作 ！Hang on, I forgot. I got distracted. I said I was gonna get out the paper to show you guys how we were gonna do it. This is our supercharged Soda Stream. Soda Stream is a registered trademark. I call it a carbonator or a water carbonator. But it's more like catchy to say it's a supercharged soda stream, because I think people generally know what that is. Alright, so our main component's going to be this guy here. Our main tank here. On top of the tank, we're going to have our 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter. And then I think I have a 90-degree angle thing. Okay, this actually works really well for our illustration. Even if I don't, it'll just go straight up instead of sticking out the side. But I think I have a 90-degree angle thing from the auto chugger. And then that is going to go to another adapter that's then going to go to our CO2 tank. Now, this is, when you screw it in, it pierces the top and then it launches it in. So we don't need a valve or anything on this. We should be good just as is. On the output, we're going to have... I say the output. Well, on the side here, we'll have a T-splitter. I've got this little guy here. And it's going to split one out and then one facing forward. And the one facing forward is going to be our pressure gauge. This will make sure we can actually see what the pressure reading on the inside of the tank is. This thing caps out at 160 PSI, but a regulator caps out far before that, so we should be good. And then on the end here, we use another adapter, and then this is our safety release valve. So this will blow. So we're gonna connect this. It's gonna pressurize the tank. The pressure is gonna rise until it blows out of this valve, basically. Inside of here, we're gonna fill it half full with water. And only half full because I don't want it to be spraying out of this valve. I don't want it getting into the meter. I don't know what that would do, but it's probably not good if it did. So what I'm gonna try to do is I've got this refrigeration tubing, and I'm gonna try to braise. See, look, that's like, it's like made to be. I'm gonna try to braise one of these adapters to the refrigerator tubing, and then have this dip down into the water in the center. So that when the air goes in, the general path is down through the tube, and then out of the tube, bubbling through the water, and then out through the pressure release valve. Idea. That's the operation idea here. I haven't even, like, considered, and I know you guys are gonna be like, yeah, of course you haven't considered this, you idiot. But I am realizing now that part of what's going to be a challenge here is making the water not taste like metal. It is really nice because I didn't have an interior diameter like spec on these when I bought them. It is really nice that this just happens to fit and nest the refrigerant tube on there. That's Here, I've always I've soldered this pipe before, but I've done it with like electronic solder. I bought pipe solder. I think this is proper leaded. Nah, this is lead free, so it's gonna suck shit. But I got flux, paste flux, and pipe solder, so I can actually braise it properly. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be so carbonated that it's gonna be an active hazard to drink, because if you drink it, you might think it's so epic that you have to die. This project is sponsored by FlexiSpot. If you've been around for a while, you've probably heard me complain about back pain, and then get ragged by my chat for being old. I started looking for solutions, even replaced my mattress, which did help some, but there was something else missing, and I started wondering that maybe the old mesh budget desk chair that I've been using for the past several years might be part of the problem. A couple months ago, I reached out to FlexiSpot about trying their Morpher C7 desk chair, and after about a month of heavy use, my back has never felt better. The Morpher is a premium chair, and you feel this in all the little details. Solid, heavy metal base, fully adjustable lower and upper back support, fully adjustable headrest, and full reclining range for the best possible comfort from locked in to kicking back. Handrests that swivel to fit any position, and a seat cushion that'll keep you comfy for hours on end. Once you've got everything dialed in to fit you, you can treat yourself to support you never thought possible. Go to FlexiSpot.com today and use code UOSLAB for $50 off your order. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the project. This needle valve is what I'm gonna have on the inlet of the thing. This is rated for 2500 PSI. So it'll be able to withstand, it's the only thing I have. The only piece of equipment I have that's rated for the pressure of the inside of one of these. Because these are about 900 PSI or so. See how well I do at pipe soldering here. When I was a kid, Dad would never hire anyone to do anything. He was a man of his own devices. And he would sooner let something rot than have to pay an expert to do it for him. He had to do everything himself. And then, one day, there was a plumbing leak under the house. So he goes, shuts off all the water, buys probably the same kit that I have here with, what is this, a quarter pound of solder and a thing of solder paste. Goes up under the house, has me come with him because I'm a little kid, so I have to hold the flashlight while he gets mad. He went through this entire quarter pound of solder, trying to get literally any solder to stick to the pipe. He just could not get it to bind because he didn't understand that you have to heat the pipe and then melt the solder onto the pipe and not heat the solder and then, like, have it on the pipe. This was pre-YouTube. This was pre-YouTube and, worst of all, pre-Sharkbite. And he eventually gave up and hired a plumber. Something that I had never seen him do up to that point. I had never seen him give up and hire someone after failing to do it himself. He had too much pride for that. He sounds like a real character. Oh, he was awesome. I say was, he still is. He's awesome. I'll spend thousands doing it myself before I pay spend hundreds to pay someone. This thing weighs like 20 pounds. Now I keep the desk safe. For anyone who doesn't know, the flux is what keeps it from the air and makes the solder actually flow. That is a shitload of flux. You know what? I'd rather be overfluxed than underfluxed. Alright. Let's see if that's too hot or not. Or maybe not hot enough. Dog, it's not working. I'm following my father's legacy, I fear. The camera angle on this doesn't look great. My apologies. Bigger gob does the job, you say. Motherfucker! Hang on, can I use my helper hands? Where's my helping hands? Dude, I forgot I had this x-ray tube. I was just kicking around in the drawer. Everything I do, I'm getting shit for. While I live in college, I lived in a shitty apartment complex. And there was a homeless guy that would come into the hallway with his homeless friend, and they would sit there and smoke cigarettes indoors and make the apartment smell like shit. But the landlord was an ass, so they didn't do anything about it. But they would get in arguments with each other, and they'd be yelling outside. And one time, one of them stormed in, slammed the door behind him, throws his coat indignantly on the ground, where I'm like standing outside my door so he can see it. And he looks at his friend and he goes, "Man, everything in life I got's to pay for." And me and my roommate, we quoted that like crazy. And I still say it to this day. And no one ever knows what I'm talking about, because it's just like, it was such like a brainworm to say it all the time. Oh, that sucked. That sucked the solder right in, bro. Dude, I think that actually made a good joint. Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit. I think we actually have a good joint being made. Okay, wait, maybe not that much, because it just turned. Okay, no, it's probably still liquid, actually. I have no idea if this is like... Actually, dude, I think this actually worked. It ain't the prettiest looking threads, but all the solder that ran all the way through just came out at the bottom because there wasn't any flux to bind it to the brass. Don't look too closely at what and how thrashed the threads on this are. That's basically nature's Teflon tape. Alright, we got one fitting down. We can torque that down. That looks like it actually goes in proper, too. This is deceptively hard to pick up straight off the table like that. Do I have a male-to-male connector in here somewhere? Wait, do I not have a male-to-male connector? Hang on, I'm thinking. Alright, hang on. I'm realizing how we can do this. Male-ended quick disconnect. And then, one of these male-ended... This is how we do it. One of these male-ended adapters. Okay, so the idea is that this goes into the quick disconnect. Hell, actually, we can leave that on, I think. That goes here. That goes... Maybe we're getting too big here. That goes into needle valve. Needle valve goes into... Okay, wait. Is this too long of like a string of bullshit? Needle valve goes into CO2. And this goes into this. So it'll be like this. It'll be this, but you have the whole thing has to be vertical. Maybe that's a little too far. Leak test it with soapy water and small amounts of air. Nah, that sounds like something a pussy would do. I'm gonna full throttle load this thing with 2,000 PSI and see what happens. One other thing I gotta check. Has my pressure regulator that I ordered for this project shown up yet? Hang on, hang on. Alright, good news, bros. It showed up. Well, bad news. Where'd I put it? I literally just brought it down. Where the fuck did I put it? I literally just brought it down. There it is. I was gonna say, it can't have gone far. I was gonna put it on the desk. Look at this, man. It ain't even close. This is gonna thread into this guy. And then this is going to thread into the splitter. How carbonated can soda even get? We're gonna find out here soon, brother. Don't you worry. Alright, we got this thing really coming together here. We'll see how well our little custom fitting goes. Alright, so the way this is gonna work is this... Yeah. The way we've got this should go into the water that's in here. And then, blast out through. We'll energize it first without water in it. Because I'm realizing now, every time I want to put water in this thing... I'm gonna have to fucking take it apart, which is gonna be a massive pain in the ass. And having the quick release is actually kind of nice in the sense that I can take this giant ass contraption off the top of the tank, and it makes this a little more portable. Also, it'll make it easier to get water in and out. So the idea here is that this is facing... It can't be laying on the table like this, because the nozzle needs to go in the water, so it needs to be facing up. But, it's facing up like this. You connect this, put your CO2 canister in here. Holy shit, did I torque it down on that? Yeah, I did. What the fuck? Put your CO2 canister in the top like that. That'll pressurize to the needle valve. Then... open the needle valve, that starts pressurizing the main chamber. Once the nozzle rises enough, it gets to 135, it should blow this pressure valve. And once that's blown, go ahead and turn off your needle valve, and then shut this valve off. Now, your pressure should be released, so you can pop that guy there. And have this still sealed and pressurized. Up to 135. Then, I was gonna say you can then pour it out, but I just realized what's gonna happen because there's a tap going down is that if it's standing straight up like this and you open it, the pressure is gonna go from the top to the bottom and it's gonna spray it straight out the top. Alright, let's put some actual... I'm gonna take this fitting off. Syringe some water into it. And that's gonna be what it actually carbonates. What the fuck? It's literally like a pound of paper. Alright. Well, no more waffling around. Let's see if this thing works. We're currently closed. This is a quick release valve, so that's why it kind of wobbles. Whoa! There we go. Okay. That was crazy. That fucking soaked me. that sprayed water like a damn fountain out of the pressure release. Alright. We should have in here, if there's fucking anything left, we should have ultra carbonated water. That's... Hang on, let me see. Let me get a glass real fast. Oh, it's... That's it? That's all we get? Alright, we have 1 tablespoon of quite fizzy water. Whoa. I mean, that's really carbonated, I'll give it that. the 1 tablespoon that came out of this is really carbonated. So, I don't know, haters. What are you gonna say to that? I need more sample size. Alright, so if it's gonna hose me, like, regardless, we might as well fill this bitch up then, right? Yeah, I'm thinking we do a 2nd cylinder. Or maybe even connect my big tank to this and let her really rip. It is really carbonated, though. I don't know how to put this to a metric. That'll be good. Safety glasses on, boys. And then... Whoo! Ah, motherfucker! Fuck! I forgot to close the valve! Shit! Well, there's nothing left in there now. I can't catch a break, man. I forgot. I literally forgot. It's because it's not just open at the top, it has a siphon tube going to the bottom, so all the air pressure is just gonna make it spooge out the top. The good news is, the water that came out is definitely carbonated because it's fizzing all over on the table. So, you know. Good grief. Alright. There we go. Let's do another one, just to make sure it's really carbonated. Holy shit, that like froze my phone. Oh! I almost made the same mistake again. The instant soda. Let's see how well this actually ended up. Flip it upside down, bleed it off. There we go. Let's see. The only thing I wish I installed is like a secondary valve to pour the water out and put the water in. But it would have to be through the side valve, because the top one has to have the siphon. Alright, let's see how much survived and how fizzy it is. That's it? Well, I'll give you this. That's super fizzy. That is very fizzy water. And then let's do a little taste test. Hang on, can we do a... That's... Okay. The yield may need work on, but it does really, really carbonate this. It tastes a lot more carbonated than a normal water. You know what I'm realizing also? I had this whole plan to put the electronic cooling system on it because the cold will make it carbonate better, right? But what I've realized, this came out ice cold. This is like freezing cold. And what I'm realizing is the rapid decompression of this CO2 cylinder, it's shooting dry ice out the bottom. I forgot about that. Because when I made my instant beer chiller, I did the same thing. And I had the cylinders facing down at an angle so that dry ice would come out. So it's actually blasting dry ice into the water, and that's why it's That's why it's so cold. So actually, I don't even need to make it more complicated. It achieves the cooling, like, for free. So, on Tuesday, we tried to make our own homemade Dr. Pepper. And in doing so, we about poisoned ourselves. But I had this can of Diet Dr. Pepper, because I had it in the fridge, that I used to test against as like a flavor standard. This shit is flat as fuck now. It is the flattest you could that soda could be. What if I just put Dr. Pepper in this thing? I need to hose it out afterward to like purify it, because it's gonna fuck this up in terms of getting sticky Dr. Pepper everywhere instead of just water. But I feel like you guys probably want to see it, because I would want to see it, that's for sure. I'm recarbonating this flat Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I have one that I opened earlier today, so we can actually compare old-ass, 2-day-old Dr. Pepper with like a couple-hour-old Dr. Pepper. Let's see if the Dr. Pepper experiment works. Good grief, man. Dr. Typhoon. Alright. There we go. This should have the finest Dr. Pepper. The most carbonated Dr. Pepper of all time. Also, this thing's still at 80 PSI, so let's bleed it off. Also, you know what this means? It means our solder joint actually was pretty good. Motherfucker. I thought that the pressure was gone at that point. Well, there goes some of it. Did you see that? It fucking splooged on the table, dude. Alright, let's pour. There we go. If you hold the valve open, it pours out easier. It didn't pour a big head, but it's really bubbly. Hang on. Hang on, I'll take a sip for comparison. Yeah, baby. Well, hang on. Compare to this one that's been open for like a couple hours. Well, it's a lot more carbonated than that, but maybe that's not the best metric. That is, okay, it's at least as fizzy as like one fresh out of the fridge. And it's kind of like a little more fizzy because I don't know how to describe it. If I chug this, I'm gonna burp like crazy. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of fizz in it. I can tell you what right now, what the trade-off to this method is, because it is fizzier, but the taste of the carbonic acid is like way stronger. What this really does, more than making it more fizzy, because like it does taste more fizzy, but I think that a lot of its extra power is being lost when it fucking splooges everywhere, getting it out of the damn container. I think the trade-off, the main thing that it does is that it makes it taste bad. Or not like, I don't know, it doesn't make it taste like horrible, but it definitely doesn't taste as good as a fresh one, because it has that like carbonated like acidity to it. I'm not gonna lie. You know what it's similar to? Did any of you guys have the Nitro Pepsi? where the entire thing was like that it was like, it was carbonated with nitro instead of CO2. First of all, it's one of the best tasting things that Pepsi has made, because it was like super ultra carbonated, but it was super ultra carbonated for like 30 seconds, and then it went from ultra carbonated to completely flat, because the nitrogen doesn't bind like CO2 does. So it was really good, but you really had to drink it fast if you wanted to enjoy it. This is kind of like that. It's the only thing I can compare it to. The carbonation in this one, it's kind of like the Nitro Pepsi. But it isn't as smooth because it doesn't have the tiny bubbles because it's not nitrogen. It's just hypercarbonated CO2. Oh my gosh. So I think we've proven now. We've shown that it works. You guys want to see what happens if you just open the valve? If you just open the valve when it's siphoned like this? I can't lie, it is kind of cool that it does that. Yo, maybe I'm not a very bright man, because I just realized, yo, is directly above this, that it's sprayed, is this fucking electrical junction box. It just fucking hosed that thing, dude.
Let's just take a moment to confirm if that's the case. I've also noticed the plate appears to be spinning much more slowly.
But this is a piping hot dog, and it actually cooked it! Wait, another 30 seconds, and it should be steaming! Let's let it spin for a full minute. Man, I just can't believe it, it's actually working! Oh my god, it's actually working! I honestly thought this thing couldn't even get warm! I honestly thought it couldn't heat anything up at all!
Oh, my sweet darling, you absolutely have to try a little bit of this. It's so good.
Mance, it cooked this damn sausage! It actually cooked it, it really did! I guarantee you, I am not joking.